If you've been up to something big in your life, then you know that the results don't always come as fast as you thought they would. And that's where most people quit. But we also know this, that the winners are the ones who find a way to stay in it. They find some level of resilience or some staying power that comes from something internally in them. But what is that? What is that internal drive that keeps them going? To have a conversation about this, I brought on a good buddy of mine named Dave Schatz. Now, he is the most positive person that I know. And that's one reason I brought him on. But the other reason is that he has shown himself to be resilient in his life. He's had these moments where things weren't working, where he found a reason to stay in it, and they turned into a wild success. And I wanted to understand what mindset he's bringing to those challenges to get through it. If that sounds like that'd be beneficial for you or someone that you know, then you're in the right place. Let's hop on in. Dave, welcome to the show.
What's up? How are you?
I'm great today, man. I'm not as positive as you. You're the most positive human I know.
Oh,
and that's a big reason why I want to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here. You are super positive, and I think that's one of the reasons we get along so well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Man, I have so much I want to talk to you about, and you're one of the friends that I have some of the most impactful conversations with. I think when I am thinking about an idea, I almost come to you as like this check. Like, is this a business or just an idea, right? And we've talked about the resiliency that it takes to build something. Right now, you're talking about as the app is growing. Something I heard Nikita say was when your app goes viral, you know it. It either is or it isn't, and you'll know it is because it's all you can do with your life at that moment, right? And so how do you personally find the resiliency to lock in and stay in it when things aren't working so fast as gas did?
Cool. I can ask you the same question. I'm curious to hear yours also. Do you want me to go first?
You go first. Go first.
I think being an entrepreneur takes being a little crazy, and I think persistence is the only way through. And so you may not have it right, but being willing to change your mind when data comes in to correct you. With Tape, my previous company, we had pivoted that so many times. We made so many mistakes along the way. And then we found what we thought was product market fit. We had built a video-based SMS product where sales and marketing professionals record a video where it's like, hey, it's Dave from this company. I'm glad you reached out through our lead form. Like, tap this link below to schedule a call with us. And, companies were buying it, not like crazy, but we were starting to get customers and it was getting exciting. So we were like, oh, this must be, but like we weren't really. And then in the lead up to the 2020 election, Andrew Yang, candidate for president.
Yes.
Caught wind of what we were doing. He recorded a Tape video. He was like, what up, Yang Gang? It's Andrew Yang. I'm, on the campaign trail, going up against some big names, like donate some money if you got it, and used it for that purpose. Sent it out to all of his followers. It got him double the donation dollars over his next performing channel, which was just strict SMS. After that, every other political candidate, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, they were all using us for fundraising. And that's when things are skyrocketing. And we were like, wow, that is what product market fit feels like. Oh, we couldn't send SMS messages fast enough. We had to work with multiple providers, scale up like crazy. But it took years for us to get to that point because the product was not there when we first started. What about you? What keeps you in it? What keeps you going?
One of my greatest strengths is probably one of my greatest flaws is optimism. So I just always convince myself like it'll be better in a year. Like no matter whatever I'm working on the day, in a year I'm gonna hate it, and I will be so much further along. So just get through this moment. I think that's part of it. I think the other part is man, I really don't know how to quit. Like I might move on to other stuff, but I don't know how to quit. I don't know how much you know about me, but I grew up in like the worst neighborhood in LA, man. I grew up around drugs and gang violence, and my parents weren't that supportive of me going to college was like against what my parents wanted. And I remember the day I took my SAT. First of all, I had to get the money to take the SAT through like nefarious causes, right? I basically had to sell some stuff to like get the money to pay for my SAT, and then my parents didn't want me to take it. And so I snuck out of like the fire escape in my house to go take the SAT, wow. Right? So there's this part of me that's just like, doesn't know how to stop. And like I have enough evidence in my life that if I just fight through whatever this blocker is, it's gonna work out, And I think it's just never gone away. Yeah. And so when I apply that to products, it's if there's a demand for it, I just got to open up enough doors or tweak it the right way to make it work. That's it.
It's this internal drive. It's this, you need to prove it to yourself. You need to, it doesn't matter You know what's right, and you know directionally where you should be going in your life. And you can trust yourself now, knowing with evidence that when you've made decisions where you've trusted yourself, it's been the right decision.
Yeah,
Like taking that SAT, going to college, taking these risks.
100%. It has been. And it's really tough. I mean, this is a really solid transition because we don't have much time left. I just want to talk about your personal positivity.
Cool. Sure.
Your outlook on life, man. Because you're hands down, when I reach out to friends and I'm like, yo, I'm hanging out with Dave, everyone's just like, man, I love that guy. You were always positive. So first of all, do you have down days?
Yeah, I'm a human. Yeah, I have sad days sometimes.
All right. But how do you, I would say 9 out of 10 times you seem to be up in positive. So what are your personal practices that you have in place to maintain your positivity?
I don't know if I do anything personally. I think, look, if I'll share a personal story with you, similar to what you were sharing with me, I didn't grow up in the best environment. I grew up in a pretty rough household. My dad wasn't a great guy while he was around. He wasn't great to my brothers and me or my mom, pushed us all around. When he finally left, my mom, single mom, working like 3 jobs just to put food on the table for my brothers and me. We were home a lot by ourselves, just fighting with each other. It was like kind of a chaotic household. And I knew that I didn't want to be anything like my dad. And so I want to be the opposite of him. And I want to be honest and hardworking and caring and loving and have integrity. And those are core values that drive me. And I knew I didn't want to live the way that I was living in that house. And so I knew that continuing to live that way wouldn't benefit me and it wasn't making me happy. And so I think there are 2 ways you can go. One way is try and be the opposite of the environment you grew up in. The other way is to have this, woe is me, the world's not fair, everything's not fair, I'm just gonna be angry and everyone's out to get me. And I am not a victim. And so for me, it's like, I'll take my life in my hands and my grandpa said to me at a really young age, he was like, you'll never know everything, but you can learn anything. And so I've always held on to that. And then, we had a computer in the house. And so I get curious on that. I was also like trying to avoid the rest of the house. So I'd go on the computer a lot, like immerse myself. I break the computer a lot. And then I have to like fix it again because my mom wouldn't let me use the computer anymore. And so then that got me curious from like, what does the computer do? Or how does the computer do this? To like, how do I make the computer do this or that? Yeah, I didn't want to be around negativity and anger all the time. And so for me, I can choose to not be a part of that. And yeah, like things are hard and things are tough. And like when big bills come in, like that sucks. And when you go through a breakup, that's heartbreaking, it's terrible. But we're so fortunate to live. We're so fortunate to have our lives. We're so fortunate to be here. Like there's so much to be grateful for. I have a friend like you who's such an amazing guy, who's such a supportive, interesting, kind, caring, incredible human. And you're friends with me? Like, come on, like how lucky am I? Truly. And all of our friends, like, and the things we get to do, we're in LA right now. It's sunny every day. Like it's beautiful. Like we're so fortunate. There's so much to be grateful for. So why focus on the other stuff? I'm not saying don't let it bring you down. Of course it does, but try and remind ourselves. And that's what I try and do. So maybe there is something I do. I remind myself of everything I'm grateful for.
If I can listen back when I hear you say, you basically made the decision to be positive because that's not what you're growing up around. And at any given moment, there's a bunch of things that are going well, that we're winning at. And if we focus on what's going well at any given moment, then how could you be negative?
A lot of people talk about manifesting, and I think why, whether manifesting works or doesn't, what I think does work is when you focus your attention on something, you start to notice more of that thing. So like there's the obvious example of, if you start paying attention, if I ask you how many red cars did you see on the road today? A lot, a little?
Probably one.
One?
Yeah.
Pay attention to how many red cars you see on the drive home. I guarantee you'll see a ton of red cars because you're starting to pay attention to it. And so if you pay attention to the negativity, you're going to be surrounded by it. Your lens is going to be fixated on like, oh, that's negative, that's happening, that's negative. If you just change the aperture of your lens and focus on the positive, you'd be like, wow, it's so fortuitous that this just happened, or wow, that just happened. And so I think that's why manifesting tends to work really well for people, because it just changes what they're focused on. I think we all just need to like focus on all these amazing things around us.
I've been recently asking myself if I should start praying. And it's less about do I believe in God or not? That's like something I can tackle at another time. But if I was praying for something to happen every day, or like my prayer was set around positivity or what I want to accomplish, then every morning my mindset would be on what I'm focused on, or what my belief system is. And so I can see the benefit of some sort of like mantra that is positive and has me focused on positivity. Because you're absolutely right. I think that where your focus goes grows. And it's why people who see racism everywhere. It's why Karens are a thing. Karens just see problems and they don't know how to stop themselves,
So true.
right? From calling it out, or they make it about them, or victims just see everything through a victim mindset. You're absolutely true. So what I'm hearing from you is like the challenge is to look at things from a positive mindset, and then you will be positive because your mindset has shifted.
And it's really hard to be angry and negative when you're feeling grateful. And so like when you're feeling pretty negative, go for a walk, drink some water, and then remind yourself as you're going for this walk, all the things in life that you're grateful for, your health, your whatever's going on around you, the fact that we live in this world where we're safe enough to go on a walk without, risk of any danger. Like there's so much we all take for granted every day.
We do, man. All right, before you go, I'm going to rapid fire a couple questions at you, right? This is my rapid fire, whatever comes to your mind first. And I ask this of all my guests, okay? Number one, what's one non-negotiable habit you have in your day?
Exercise, some form of exercise, some kind.
Exercise. All right, check. Got that. I do believe that, man. I've seen you with your shirt off. Yeah. All right. What's one sentence you would put on a billboard for the whole world to see?
Focus, maybe. I think everybody could focus. I think everyone's scattered. If everyone just focused, they'd be a lot more successful at whatever it is that they want to accomplish.
So just focus with a big font, big period at the end?
Probably. It'd be super weird. No one would understand it, but yeah.
No, they wouldn't. I mean, I hope they don't read it so much that they crash. All right, last one. So if you can go back to age 20 with all your current knowledge, what's one thing or the first thing you would do differently?
I think I lived my life for too long feeling like I don't belong in certain rooms, and whether I'm not good enough, I haven't achieved enough, I don't belong there, I don't deserve it for some reason. And as I've gotten older and more confident, realized that that's just not true for me or for anybody. And so to have been more confident in those moments, or to not maybe shy away from certain opportunities, or to use like a sports reference, like red card myself, like pull myself out before even giving someone a chance, maybe.
Man, that lands. I mean, I think we do that in our 20s. I think some people do that in their 40s. That imposter syndrome or not good enough conversation. It's one of the key four that people need to break to achieve in their life, man. And we'll like sabotage ourselves over and over again if we don't break it. So I love that. I think someone needed to hear that today. So thank you for being vulnerable, man. Thanks for coming on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
I always love your energy, but I appreciate the vulnerability you brought. And if this even makes a difference for like 10 people out there, then I think it was worth the time.
Thanks so much for having me. I love hanging out with you and talking to you generally. So getting the opportunity to do it here is an honor, and I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is really fun.
Love it, man. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining another episode of Grow Snacks. If you like this sort of content, then like, subscribe, and share it so that more people can benefit from people like Dave. And until we see you next time, try something new.